Hello YouTube! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a ramlet. It's a ramen and an omelet mixed together to make just deliciousness. So first things first, what you're going to want to do is get your ramen however much you want to do. I usually have 2 packs instead of 1, but for the purpose of making one, for every 1 pack of ramen you use 2 eggs, and since I'm using 2, I'm going to have 4 eggs. Something to grease your pan with, and you're going to need to cook your ramen noodles in something and have your separate saucepan for cooking the actual omelet portion. And what your first step is going to be is going to crack all your eggs, you're going to put them in a bowl, and you're going to add the flavor packets. And as you see, I just added all the eggs and the seasoning in there, and you either use a whisk or a fork, whatever you're most comfortable with. Make sure that's whipped up real nice. And next step 2, you're going to take your ramen, put some water in your saucepan bowl thing, and heat that up until they're tender. It's going to be the same thing as cooking ramen, it's just you're not putting in the seasoning. Okay, so depending on how you usually make your omelet, some people put a splash of milk in their omelet to make their eggs a little more fluffier. That's what I'll do, just a splash. Some people, it depends on what you want to add to your omelet. You can put anything you would in a normal omelet in here with your eggs. You can put any kind of meats that you want to put in there. If you're really low budget, hot dogs. If you want to put ham in there, ham chunks in there, chives, whatever you feel like putting in there. It's just like a normal omelet. And go ahead and mix that up. And once the noodles are done, we're just going to add it all together. And just a note for you guys, if you want the outcome to be more omelette-y, then you can go ahead and add another egg. If you want it to be more ramen with a little bit of egg to it, then you can use less eggs. But this is just, I think, a good medium is 2 eggs per 1 ramen. But go ahead and feel free to try what you want. Alright, now that my noodles are nice and soft and separated, what you need to do is you need to strain it. So you can either use a strainer or put your fork on the side of it and just drain the water. Whatever you have available to you, that's what we need to do now. Alright, now that I got those strained, I'm going to go to our large saucepan. I'm going to use vegetable oil spray stuff. You can use butter or whatever to grease your pan, or use a non-stick, or use both like I'm doing. Like so. Now that that's all sprayed down, basically what we're going to do is we're going to combine the noodles with the eggs along with whatever else you want to put in here. Alright, I just added this all to the bowl. I'm just going to mix it up now. Make sure I get it all the egg mixture nice and mixed in. Doesn't look very appetizing right now, but trust me, it's very good. As you can see, I used hot dogs, basically because this is a very poor man's recipe, or someone that's in college, or something like that. So you're going to mix this around very well. Very well. Make sure you get it soaked into all of the noodles. Now when you put this into the pan, you don't have to be a very good chef, because if you're making this, you probably don't know how to make an omelet very well. If you do, good for you, you can make that. You can also make this scrambled, just like your eggs. You just put it in there, scramble it around, make sure all the egg is cooked all the way through. And, I mean, it tastes exactly the same. It doesn't look as pretty, though. But you can do that, too. Alright, now once you put it into the pan, you have to make sure you spread around all the noodles so it looks like this. Whatever your toppings are, make sure they're nice and spread out. Because if you are making it into an omelet, you need to make sure everything's flat and even so you can get that nice flip to it. If you are making just the scrambled version of it, you just pour it in and mix it up until everything's cooked. And once everything is said and done, that is how it's going to look. Doesn't look so bad now, does it? It's delicious. And cheap. And protein because of eggs.